r/BossFight. Kakarot's 25 attack, 6 defense, 200 health, type enemies. Kakarots will attack you by pelting you with sharp carrots if you step into their garden or farm. They can only grow when carrots are planted in enchanted soil, with each carrot having a 10% chance of becoming one. They will usually recognize farmers and gardeners and allow them to do their job in peace. When defeated, they disappear in a small cloud of smoke, dropping a regular carrot or two. Young Cerberus, Guardian to the Gates of Heck. 30 attack, 20 defense, 150 health, type dog. Young Cerberus viciously guards the Gates of Heck. And by viciously guards, I mean she excitedly greets every visitor. And by the Gates of Heck, I mean the gate to her owner's yard, which was named and painted for her. When she gets too excited, small licks of flame come out of her mouths. Agoat, 367 attack, 3,425 defense, 4,362.78 health, type dog boss. This dog somehow accidentally used his reality bending powers on his stats. But how? Other reality benders have found this to be impossible. Well, I guess he's a boss now. Congratulations, becoming a boss is hard work. If, for some reason, you were an awful person and tried to hit Agoat, you'd probably find it difficult, since his powers seem to automatically protect him. Veg Thulu, 100 attack, 60 defense, 3,000 health, type boss. Veg Thulu rises if you kill too many Kakarots. It flies around the battlefield, pelting you with a wide variety of vegetables and using vines and roots to trip or wrap around you. It absorbs water and consumes anything biodegradable to regain health, but it's weak to fire. Once defeated, Veg Thulu vanishes in a cloud of smoke, dropping a few random vegetables. Daniel Radcliffe, 350 attack, 75 defense, 1,150 health, type rare boss. It's Daniel Radcliffe with 2 guns. He does have powers, though it's unclear what exactly those are, but he usually chooses to attack using his guns instead. You can't fight him every day, though. On most days, he behaves like a normal person, but occasionally you can find him in this form, and when you do, he is eager to fight. Gordon Ramsay, 300 attack, 50 defense, 6,000 health, type Master Chef. Gordon is a very skilled cook. Not only does he make things taste good, but he knows just how to make each thing so that it heals as much as it can without changing the dish much. Additionally, he has the power of enchanting food so that it heals even more. His other powers include enhanced speed, strength, and reflexes. Without the knife, his attack is 25. Jummy's 1,000 subscriber extravaganza, the boss fight section. Dave the Breadweilder, 5 attack, 35 defense, 150 health, type enemy. This enemy protects his corner bakery. He doesn't own it, and he doesn't actually work there, he just does it for the free bread. His attack would be the normal 10 if he didn't insist on using bread as his one and only weapon. At least he only uses stale bread. Squid Kid, 20 attack, 20 defense, 200 health, type mini-boss. Squid Kid isn't actually a squid in any way, just a kid in a costume. However, they do have some kind of connection with / power over sea creatures, as well as water powers. You have a chance of running into them at nearly any beach or other oceanside location. They're never with an adult, so maybe they're being raised by sharks or something? No, that's stupid. Guy Fieri, 30 attack, 45 defense, 8,000 health, type Master Healer. Guy is Gordon's only real competition as the greatest healer of the modern day, due to his ability to summon absurdly large food. r/BossFight 2. Hans, the Defender of the Dorms. 8 attack, 9 defense, 20 health, type Bird. This little bird proudly keeps watch over the dorm building in which he lives. He's ready to tussle with any bad intruders. Being so little, he can't actually do battle with any real threats, but he sure does work hard to try and keep the dorms bug-free. Suki. 600 attack, 125 defense, 1,500 health, type mini-boss. Literally. Kasuki, online username Suki, always had a disproportionate amount of hatred for advertisements. This has led her to, later in life, determined to fill as much advertising space as she can with her non-ads. But to accomplish her goal, she's gonna need money, and a lot of it. She's been doing small-scale stuff with some spare cash and donations, but now it's time to go big. She's starting a technology business with her friend, but this isn't just any technology business. This one is special. First of all, between Kasuki's power to enchant things and her friend's skill with robots and such, they can accomplish nearly anything requested of them. And second, every order will be custom made. The only problem is, they can't advertise this business. That would mean becoming the very thing she swore to destroy. No, they must rely on word of mouth alone. Will it be enough? Only time will tell. Kasuki's a very small person, but, in contrast, her main power after enchanting is super strength. Her other powers are enhanced agility and jump. She also has a pair of big, tricked-out robotic arms, which were actually the first thing made in the name of the business. She doesn't really need them, since she has super strength, and both of her arms, but with them she is the mascot of the company. They also help her reach high shelves. PewDiePie. This version is no longer canon. Canon Felix will show up later, during the Boss Fight 6 section. Uwu. 100 attack, 13 defense, 1,000 health, type boss. The speed at which Uwu moves is incredible, especially considering the fact that there is no clear logical way that it can move at all. It usually doesn't move though. If you spend more than 5 minutes in the room with Uwu, your health will begin to drain. And if you look it in the eye for more than a few seconds, it will begin to inflict psychic damage. Lord Neckbeard, Slayer of Chads. 200 attack, 30 defense, 500 health, type mini-boss. This enemy will only attack if he sees you as a Chad. The criteria for being a Chad to him is very broad and unclear, so it's really kind of a 50-50 chance of being attacked when you pass him. Unless you're a girl. If you're a girl, you're always good. Lord Neckbeard clearly isn't his real name, but nobody can seem to figure out what his real name is, and he sure isn't telling. r/BossFight 3, Cursed Expansion. Caster Blaster, 200 attack, 10 defense, 25 health, type pet/companion. Caster Blaster proves very helpful in battle, though after 1 or 2 full, proper blasts, she gets tired. For more blasts, she needs more magical energy, which can be given to her through items or an energy transfer, or she can just regain it over time. Cass is just one kitten, but there are others like her out there. Despacito Spiders. 3 attack, 35 defense, 75 health, type cursed enemies. These enemies Wait, these are still canon? Really? Quite possibly the worst thing to ever make it into r/BossFight is canon in the remastered version? Okay, whatever you say, at least they're tucked in a tiny dark corner of the canon. From the top. These enemies reside in the deepest, darkest parts of caves. They constantly emit a certain song that, when coming from them, begins to deal psychic damage after around the 30-second mark. Looking them in the face for longer than a few seconds also begins to deal psychic damage. Just deal with them quickly. Ennard. 75 attack, 120 defense, 1,000 health, type cursed boss. Ennard can be found in abandoned structures, especially underground ones. Sometimes, on particularly dark nights, it will leave to find a new structure. It moves by grabbing on or sticking to objects and surfaces, and can do this very quickly. Before striking, it tries to wrap itself around its prey. It's sensitive to bright light, though, so best you keep a flashlight on you. Ennard was the first unknown creature reported to have come down from the top floor. It doesn't actually have a name. People just call it Ennard because of its striking resemblance to a character by that name. Cursed Snowman, Giant. 300 attack, 3 defense. 5,000 health, type boss. Cursed snowmen are pretty common enemies when it's snowy, and they're usually not bigger than an adult human. But there is one that only shows up during heavy snow that is much larger than the rest. Unlike the others, it also has control over snow and ice, and it can even turn snow into more normal cursed snowmen. Don't be fooled by its low defense, because no amount of chopping, slicing, or shooting will damage it. It can reattach or reform anything it loses. The only thing that can damage it is heat. r/BossFight 4. Susan, Defender of the Upper Middle Class. 200 attack, 20 defense. 100 health, type mini-boss. This enemy wields a sword, but doesn't really know how to use it. Because of this, her chances of blocking or hitting something when she begins wildly flailing her sword are pretty low. But she does a good amount of damage when she does end up hitting things. Ben Shapiro, 140 attack, 200 defense, 2,500 health, type boss, potential ally. Ben's powers are enhanced strength, agility, and reflexes, as well as teleportation and the ability to summon his hammer. He has complete control over his hammer, which is like having telekinesis for just it, as well as being able to change the size, shape, and type of it. It's also pretty hard to break. When you ask him to join your party, he will ask you a series of questions, most of a political nature. If you get enough right, he will probably join your party. If you get enough wrong, he may fight you. If you're somewhere in the middle, he will simply dismiss the conversation. Vader, 500 AOE, 9,999 Protect. Type Boss. This sentient elevator is the only way up to the top floor, but they're tasked with stopping anyone who tries to go up there. They attack with zaps of energy, magical or otherwise, that come from the many light bulbs in the roof, and sometimes by suddenly and quickly dropping a little on the way up. All of the strange and powerful new creatures that have been coming down from the top floor do so through the Vader. Rexy, 500 attack, 500 defense, 10,000 health, type special boss. This super powerful creature attacks with an absurd amount of magical and non-magical attacks alike, either barraging its opponents or making it rain upon them. It has yet to be beaten by anyone or anything. Despite this, and the fact that it will sometimes just wreak havoc on a place, it's somewhat peaceful, in the sense that it usually only attacks after being attacked. Nobody had seen this creature, or anything like it, until it came down from the top floor in the Vader. Somewhere along the line, the public at large started calling it Rexy. Its real name, if it even has one, which it probably doesn't, is unknown. r/BossFight 5, Top Floor Expansion. Lauren the Computing, 30 attack, 1,500 defense. Type, NPC, ally. While Lauren does assist in battle, she's best at giving information and solving puzzles, math problems, and the like, easily computing the answers. She'll probably just join your party if asked, as long as she isn't busy. Lauren spends a good amount of time riding the Vader up and down, and they are presumably friends. CS-188, 15 attack, 25 defense, 120 health, type, just a guy. CS, a high-level reality bender and illusionist, also seems to be a seer of some sort, though he will neither confirm nor deny this. He likes to visit powerful people, especially newly powerful people, in restaurants, bars, and the like, and mess with them, have a laugh, and finally either give them advice or a warning, depending on their past actions. Mr. Beast, 100 attack, 250 defense, 5,000 health, type, boss, YouTuber. Mr. Beast attacks by summoning large amounts of things and using them and/or throwing them at you. The things he summons can be magical attacks, or really any physical object within reason. The objects he summons are permanent, but he usually absorbs them again once he's done using them. He has complete control over the objects he summons, which was previously explained to me that he has telekinesis/telekinetic powers for just the objects he summons, and he can also change the size, shape, and type of the objects. r/BossFight 6 Congratulatory Update. Dr. Phil, 100 attack, 600 defense, 4,500 health, type, boss. Dr. Phil is a reality bender, but the kind that doesn't have conscious control over their power. The power just automatically activates whenever he could use it, and oftentimes he is barely aware he has changed things at all. Keith, 12 attack, 75 defense, 100 health, type, NPC, potential ally. Keith doesn't have any powers. He does, however, have some souped-up leaf blowers he got made by Kasuki and her friend. The leaf blowers can blow a very strong wind and shoot magical attacks. Whether he joins your party or not is really just circumstantial. Joel, Rumi, 20 attack, 60 defense, 620 health, type, musician, YouTuber, ally. Rumi can make songs he sings live have effects on listeners, like healing, making them sleepy, temporarily buffing their stats, etc. Since he's leveled up the power enough, he can direct the effects of songs only at who he wants to affect, so he doesn't accidentally heal enemies or put allies to sleep. He has 2 more powers that can help the first. He can auto-tune himself anytime, and he can play music from his mind/memory. The music he can play from his mind can have the same effects his singing can, but to a lesser degree. When used together, though, the effects are extra strong. He has leveled up the music playing power enough so he can direct the effects. Dave from Boy in a Band, 25 attack, 70 defense, 330 health, type, musician, YouTuber, ally. Dave is the reverse of Rumi, power-wise. He can summon almost any instrument, of which he has complete control over, and the songs he plays can have effects on live listeners. His singing/rapping can have the same effects, but weaker. He has leveled up both powers enough so he can direct the effects only at people he wants to affect. Since he can control the size and material of the instruments, and they're very durable, he can use the instruments he summons as weapons. He doesn't have to play songs on the instruments he summons for them to have effects. Any instruments work. Felix, PewDiePie, 250 attack, 750 defense, 10,150 health, type, top YouTuber. Felix, because of his position as the second most subscribed YouTube channel, has been granted immense power to the point that he is practically a tier 3. So, instead of describing everything he can do, which is nearly anything within reason, I'll describe what he is most likely to do. He mostly uses his powers for an easier day-to-day life. Powers like teleportation, telekinesis, hovering, and conjuring food and such are his most commonly used. He doesn't fight very often, but when he does, he is an absurdly powerful foe. For magical attacks, as a default, he uses blue, glowing bro fists, but he does use other shapes and colors often. For weapons, he carries a sword, or, more recently, a trident. The swords are usually normal, except for enhanced durability, and that he has complete control over them. But the trident is different. On top of those, the trident has electrical powers and can summon lightning. He also throws it and brings it back to him a lot, using it more as a projectile than a melee weapon. When using weapons, he is often also using powers like enhanced strength, reflexes, and accuracy. For defense, all of his clothes are enchanted to act as armor, making them hard to damage and giving them stuff like fire resistance. All the merch he sells is enchanted in the same way. He also has a proper set of armor he can summon at any time that's stronger and also comes with built-in force fields. Additionally, he has a tricked-out version of his chair that can fly, have force fields around it, etc. He either sits in it, reclines in it, or, when it's reclined, stands on it like a skateboard. His editors get a few powers of their choosing too, since they help, or helped, with his channel significantly. r/BossFightUniverse 2. The Apocalypsel Switch. When activated, this switch will somehow cause a mass extinction event. Or it would if it worked yet. It has been pulled before, but all it did was give a message that simply said, "Coming soon." The switch, and the display above it, just appeared one evening in a museum. People naturally thought it was a new exhibit, but it's far more than that. After some investigation, it's been confirmed that the switch has some very powerful enchantment on it. Furthermore, seers can't see the past or future of the switch, nor can they see what would happen when it's working and activated, or even if that's what will happen or not. Trying to lift this bar now would prove to be an extremely difficult task to pull off, because many groups, organizations, and individuals are ready to do anything they can to stop that from happening, and security and defenses are high around it and the entire museum. r/BossFightUniverse 3. Burning Skull Painting. A pixelated painting found in an art gallery that can be phased through. On the other side is a blocky, pixelated extension of the gallery with more pixelated paintings. Void Phone. This phone has a couple of uses. Those who can't speak can do so through the phone as long as they're making physical contact with it, and spirits can also use it to speak if nearby. Additionally, if it isn't being used and you pick it up, you can hear random sounds coming from either outside entrances to the void or from within the void itself. Since this instance of the void is theoretically connected to an infinite number of universes, there's no telling what you'll hear. Sentient Characters. The Sentient Characters anomaly is when a character in an animated game, movie, show, etc. becomes self-aware. The rare anomaly only affects one copy of the media and can't occur in things like YouTube videos or live television unless they're downloaded/recorded. Characters affected by the anomaly can see and hear things outside the monitor they're displayed on. Furthermore, they are powerful reality benders within their worlds, and they can grant themselves powers they otherwise wouldn't have, as if they were lucid dreaming. They can't, however, change other characters mentally or physically, but they can influence them. Changes to how the story normally goes doesn't break things. Other characters react in character to the changes made like they're real people, which they most likely are in some other universe. The camera automatically follows the affected character, but they can adjust it, lock it in place, or even lock it on other characters. Additionally, they can turn the screen black, do transitions in text, etc. The same idea goes for audio. They can also choose whether other characters can see and hear you or not. It is possible for the anomaly to happen to 2+ characters in the same piece of media / the same universe, but it's extremely unlikely. Once the anomaly occurs, you can't rewind, fast forward, or pause anymore. You're just an observer now. An observer who can talk to the characters, that is. If the affected character leaves their universe, they lose their powers, and the camera goes back to normal until they return. If they do return, that is. If the affected media is deleted, all that's removed is the window into that universe. Hand Crank Chainsaw. A basically useless item created while experimenting with alchemy. Currently, none exist because it was promptly absorbed for energy due to its glaring uselessness attribute, and nobody is dumb enough to make another one. And finally, r/ItemShop. MS Paint 3D. This special rare item allows you to draw things that will become real 3D objects. This takes a lot of energy, though, and unlike those who have this power themselves, it can't be leveled up to cost less energy. It can store the energy required for about 3 uses, depending on size. This item can be ordered from Kasuki's business, or possibly borrowed from someone who already has one. Positive Energy Drink. This item heals 100 health and temporarily takes 50 attack, or leaves you with 1 attack if your attack is less than or equal to 50. This doesn't include attack from weapons. Additionally, it will make you more cheerful for a time, ward off any bad energy it can, like curses and the like, and even cure some poisons. It can be found in arts and crafts stores, as well as some select food vendors. Mountain Dew Pop-Tarts. If you can brave the assault on your taste buds and dignity and consume this item whose creator's ability to alchemize should be taken away, you'll heal 15 health. Switchblades. These blades add 60 attack and 10 comedy. These are really, actually sold on Etsy. Link in the description. Business Scythe. This item is a must-have for any business person who takes their job seriously. It adds 75 attack, 15 intimidation, and 35 confidence. Needless to say, this is a quite expensive item. You can't have just anyone carrying one of these.